Students love technology. We know that they have their phones with them. We might as well be capitalizing on their learning experience when we're doing a presentation by using Poll Everywhere. Poll Everywhere is a response tool that you can use while you're doing a presentation. You can get up-to-the-minute feedback on how the presentation is going, whether your students are understanding the content, or whether you might need to build some more understanding, go back and reteach, or they're ready to move on to the next idea. Let's take a look at some examples of Poll Everywhere. I did some simple questions such as, what is your favorite color? To show the example of having the student's response be in a word cloud. Students are able to respond either by texting or on a tablet or computer. I am going to add, I'm going to add a color, but once the student has logged in to your account with the number or with the web address, then they will use that same number for the entire presentation. So I'm going to add white to this word cloud, and there it is. So let's take a look at another example. Here is an example of a multi-choice question that they would either respond with A, B, or C. To add, I'm going to respond with B, and that will add to Escargot as my favorite book being read this week. If I wanted to go with A, then Giant Pants would be represented. Now, as the instructor, you can choose how many times they can respond to a question. There's also a timing feature where you can start a timer, and once the timer goes off, then no more responses will be accepted. Students can add comments. Now you can ask them a question, and you can take a quick understanding to find out whether they are grasping the concepts you're teaching or whether you need to go back and reteach. There are also picture responses. This kind of question here that has a large picture can only be done on a computer, as well as this one. So we've looked at a couple different kinds of polls that you can use in your presentation. Let's see how you would get started. You would go to Poll Everywhere and create a free account. Once you've done that, you would decide, do you use PowerPoint or Google Slides more, or both? And you would want to download them to be embedded inside your presentation tool. So Poll Everywhere has now been included with my Google Slides account. Here are a bunch of those questions that I asked and put onto my presentation. But if you wanted to create a question, there are so many options that will get the kind of response you're looking for from your students. The news ticker was the one where they could respond with words. But we have short answer, bulletin board, select on a map. There's so many that you can use to help gauge whether your students are understanding the lesson. You could also use this as an exit ticket for your students to know whether they did understand the concept. We might as well be capitalizing on what they love, and this will help students to pay attention to the presentation at the same time. Not only that, but you get a good indication of whether the students are understanding it or whether you may need to reteach. I hope you like this platform and give it a try this week on one of your presentations.